Hey everybody, what's up? Salon I am in here, affectionately known as Suham Baby. As promised, we are live in the group for this week's Lunch and Learn the Home Buying Process. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are not watching this in my private Facebook group, you are welcome to join. It is entitled Buying and Refinancing Homes in South Carolina. We'll drop that link below this live broadcast. So we're going to be broadcasting live in the group from 11 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this week, Monday through Friday, and we are dropping tips on the home buying process. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Salon Hammond, aka Suham Baby. I am a mortgage broker, I'm a real estate investor, and I am a playwright. So I love doing all things real estate. I'm a creative person who loves writing stage plays and producing stage plays, and I love sharing education in hopes to inspire people to a better life. So today what we want to talk about, because we only got 30 minutes, if you guys are live, you can definitely drop your questions below and I'll answer them within that 11 a.m. to 11:30 time slot. If you are happening to catch this on the recording, you can still drop your questions and I will answer it. But I wanted to talk to you today about mindset and savings. So many people say, oh, I'm ready to buy a home. I'm ready to buy a home. But haven't taken the time to really think about having the right mindset. Now, I'm going to share some real life experience that have happened to some of my clients and things that have happened to me. And I know for a fact that if we didn't have the right mindset, we would not make it to the finish line. So a lot of times people are always talking strategies about how to get into a home, how to buy an investment home, but they never tell you the most important strategy is your mindset. Because when you have your mind fixated on obtaining home ownership, no problems can stop you. You will always find a way. I don't care if it's savings. I don't care if it's finding the right property. You will find a way to get it done. So I took some notes because there's some important things that I want to cover and I don't want to miss it. I didn't really want to freestyle this session because I think in the home buying process, the mindset and savings is probably the most important part. So I think one of the ways to get your mind ready to buy a home is to definitely educate yourself. And being a part of this live, being a part of my private Facebook group or a part of my audience, period, you are doing that. I put together a free home buying process ebook as well as video. And you can get that, if you'll stay, I'll drop that link at the end of this video. You can get that for free. But you need to educate yourself about the home buying process because everything is going to seem scary. Everything is probably going to seem like a scam if you don't have the education to know what is supposed to happen during the process. It costs you nothing to educate yourself and be better informed about the home buying process. You need to learn about the types of mortgage options out there, which one is going to benefit you. I promise you, there are so many lenders. There's so many mortgage brokers. There's so many realtors who have no idea about the different type of mortgage options. I got to turn my fan on, y'all. I'm getting hot. I'm 50. You already know what that means. There are so many people that don't know about the different mortgage options, the different loan programs, right? Just because something didn't work somewhere for somebody else doesn't mean it won't work for you somewhere else, okay? So as a mortgage broker, I have access to over 160 different lenders. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have a program that's going to fit you. You need to understand closing costs and additional expenses that come with buying a home. Everybody thinks that they can get into a home with no money. And most times, if you have somebody else fronting the money for you, you can. But if you don't have a rich uncle or a rich auntie, you're going to need some money. You're going to need money for an earnest money deposit. You're going to need money for inspections. You're going to need money for an appraisal. These things are it's just the way it is. So go ahead and set some money aside, get your mind right. Regardless if there's down payment assistance programs that may be available to you, go ahead and set some money aside because you just never know what could happen. And again, I can't stress more than the importance of attending a home buyer's workshop and getting all of this information. And I have one that you can definitely attend. All right, clarify your goals, man. What is it that you want? What do you want to, what type of house do you have to have? And let me say this, my people. There is nothing wrong with a starter home. You don't have to go out and get a $600,000 home knowing that you make $30,000 a year. You're probably not going to qualify anyways based off just that income. But even if you make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, but you have a lot of financial obligations, you don't have to buy at the high end. There's nothing wrong with starting out small and working your way up. Because guess what? After you lived in that home a year or 2 years, if you, especially 2 years, if you want to sell it, you can sell it and you can reap the profits without having to pay capital gains tax because you lived in that house for 2 years, okay? Depending on how much you're reaping in profits. If you're single, you can reap up to $250,000 worth of profits without paying capital gains tax. If you're married, you can reap up to $500,000, all right? And or if you want to sell that house, you can do that. So you don't have to go out and buy a mansion to start off with, but definitely clarify your goals. Where do you want to buy? Location is important. And think about your long-term plans. Maybe you're just buying just to live here for 3 years. So you're thinking, okay, this is just a short-term thing. I'm going to live here 3 years. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to rent it. And I'm going to move into something else. Third thing in getting your mind right is getting your finances in order. Like I said, so many people don't even know how much house they can afford because they haven't taken the time to sit down and budget. Now, you can come to me for a pre-approval, and I could say, hey, you're qualified for an $800,000 loan based off your income, based off the debts that you have, right? You're qualified for an $800,000 loan. But here's the thing, can you afford an $800,000 loan? So that's when you have to get realistic and budget for home ownership and really say, hey, I might qualify for an $800,000 loan, but realistically, I only can afford a $400,000 home. You know, whatever those numbers are, you have to create a budget. Then you need to get pre-approved and understand your buying power. And that's basically what we just talked about. Understand your buying power. But just because you can buy at such a high amount, $800,000, doesn't necessarily mean you can afford at $800,000. Prepare for the emotional journey. This is probably one of the biggest ones, guys, because I can tell you, if you're not prepared, buying a home can be stressful. However, if you are prepared, it's not the most challenging thing in the world. If you've got yourself set up right, got your paperwork set up right, knowing that you're talking to a credible lender, linking up with a credible realtor, and a realtor setting you up with inspection partners, you are going to have a great home buying process. But even then, when you have great partners, sometimes you can get a monkey wrench in the road. Let me just tell you about something I endured. When I relocated about a year ago, I was looking at a house that was on the market. And because I had done a loan modification during the COVID area on one of my investment properties, we had to prolong the financing. So we needed an extension from the current homeowners for my contract. Well, lo and behold, my realtor contacted the realtor of the sellers, and he said, I am not going to bother my clients over the weekend. It's Mother's Day. I was like, oh, okay. But we needed that extension signed. And so come Monday, that realtor said, okay, we got the extension signed. Let's go ahead and move forward. I told my realtor, absolutely not. Because he didn't think it important. He didn't even care. It's just his whole attitude to even work with us. I was like, there's no way I'm moving forward. Now, mind you, I'd already put down an earnest money deposit of $1,000. I'd already had paid for an inspection of $600. And I already paid for an appraisal of $600. So what is that? That's $2,200. And I pulled the plug. I said, nope, I'm not going to go through with it. I didn't feel, and I'll be honest, I didn't really feel good about the house. Emotional, do not buy off an impulse or if you don't feel it's a good buy. I didn't feel 100% right with this house. I felt like I was pushing it because I needed to get into something quickly. And so when this realtor really, to me, in my opinion, showed us his butt, that was enough for me to say, okay, I'm pulling out because I was ignoring all the other red flags. But this particular red flag, I was like, because he's not about to make $16,000 off of me, and he giving us his butt to kiss. So don't be so emotionally involved in a project, a house, that you ignore all the red flags. So we canceled the contract, and I had to end up forfeiting that $1,000 earnest money because I withdrew for reasons that were not listed on the contract. So I had to pay the $1,000. I'd already paid the $600 in inspection. I'd already paid $600 in appraisal. So boom, I was out of $2,200. Okay? This is why you got to be ready for the home buying process. A lot of people won't tell you this, but it's the truth. I have another client that actually went under contract a few times. But, however, when it came to the home inspection revealed that the homes were garbage, pure teen garbage. They were not up to par. And so my clients had to pull out. But guess what? They had already paid $400 for a home inspection. Okay? So sometimes, you will lose some of your money during the home buying process. And I want to clarify, I think that everybody should have a home inspection done on the house, whether the house is pre-existing or whether it's newly built. Home inspections should be a requirement and should be a non-negotiable, because you just never know what could be going on in those homes. And you don't want to be in a home 3-4 years down the road and you're dealing with issues. All right? So be ready for potential disappointments. You might put a bid on a house and say, oh my God, I want that house. I love that house. This is where I want to build my family. This is where I want to live forever. And you got 4 or 5 other people putting a bid in on that house and you lose the bid. It's okay. Just go look for another house. Don't get emotional attached. And this last thing I want to say is, please be patient. Be patient. Sometimes we have to ask for things more than once. Be patient. Sometimes the appraiser don't move as quickly going out to the house. Be patient. Sometimes the home inspections don't return the inspection report as fast as you want. Be patient. Sometimes sellers are not willing to fix the repairs that need to be repaired. Be patient. Be patient. This is a huge financial project you're about to get into. So you need to be patient, do your due diligence, and make sure that you are good with signing your name on the dotted line for this financial investment. All right? So the last thing on getting your mind right is building your team. You need to make sure you have a reliable real estate agent. A reliable real estate agent, guys, I can't stress how important this is. They're connected to so many different people. A good agent will negotiate on your behalf, try to get seller closing costs paid so you don't have to come out your pocket as much. A good agent will make sure that you do home inspections and try to negotiate and get the sellers to fix things that need to be fixed. A good agent will work to try to get the pricing of that home, get your bid accepted. That's what good agents are for. They will hold your hand along the process. So that is one of the key essential persons that you need to have on your team. And then the other person is me, your lender. You need a great lender that understands your loan, understands your financial objective, and understand what your goals are, and will get you to the finish line with less stress and as fast as possible. Because really, let's be honest, all we care about when we're buying homes, right? We, the homeowner, is just getting into a home. We want it to be less stressful. We want a decent interest rate. We're hoping not to put down a whole bunch of money, and we want to get a good, solid home. So these are people that you're definitely going to need to build your team with. All right? Now, because we have gone, it's 11:12, and we're supposed to go to 11:30. I'm looking at my clock here. I'm going to stop on this process, the mindset part, and see if anybody has any questions with the mindset portion of this live. Any questions? And I want to thank y'all for coming on, too. Any questions? If you're just coming on, you can always catch the replay, and you can type your questions at the bottom, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I know I talk fast. All right. But, again, I just think it's super important to discuss the mindset part of this, because so many people don't. You just got to get your mind right. I've had clients that have put in offers on 2 or 3 houses and it not get accepted. You can't give up. Somebody just beat you out. That wasn't your house. It's not for you. But if you really want to become a homeowner, don't give up. Keep looking. Most people who give up find what they're looking for. Nothing, right? But if you keep going and you keep trusting the process, you keep educating yourself, you remain patient, and you do not take shortcuts, right? You do what you're supposed to do, and you have the right team members, you are going to get to the finish line, which is home ownership. All right, I don't see any questions on here, so we're going to go into the second part of this live, which is saving. Save some money, people. How do I save, Sue? I'm living paycheck to paycheck, but I want to buy a house. Well, I know that's challenging, baby. I've been there. When you're looking at somebody who filed bankruptcy in 2009, okay? If you're new to me, you might not know that, but if you've been following me for years, you know that I've been very vocal about that in my life. Filed bankruptcy in 2009. Woo!